Today I'm interviewing my grandfather, Howard Bickerstaff, on the Civil Rights Movement. So, when were you born
August 1937,
and where?
Chattanooga.
Alright, so being in your teen years during the Civil Rights Movement, what was your personal opinion and your parents of the Civil Rights Movement?
We were somewhat negative about it.
Like,
We thought. We grew up prejudiced. You'd have to say that we probably were somewhat prejudiced,
Yes. Alright, number 2. What was the protesting in Chattanooga like at the time of the Civil Rights Movement? Like, were there any?
I don't remember any protesting at all in Chattanooga.
Really? Yeah, that's interesting.
There was some, I'm sure, but I don't remember any of it being really bad. I remember some riots at the Spencer J. McCauley homes on 38th Street, but that's about it.
Yeah. All right. Number 3. Knowing that you had your job, had your first job at the age of 16, did you? In the heart of the Civil Rights Movement, what was your work environment like and the acceptance of African Americans around it?
I wasn't with African Americans. I had a job working on a logging crew that was cutting timber.
Number 4. So, we kind of already covered this, but as expected, your parents were probably pretty prejudiced just growing up naturally.
They were, I would say.
Yes. Number 5. What were some of the first-hand experiences, if any, that you had while traveling throughout the city on a given day? Like, did you witness just like what would be like an example of a racist or discriminatory thing that you witnessed, like on a bus or around school or anything?
Well, I remember when the black people sat on the rear of the bus and they weren't served at lunch counters downtown.
Yes.
I definitely remember that. And we took it as a normal thing at the time. In the 1950s,
Yeah. That's interesting. Number 6. Did you witness or know about any of the KKK clubs in the area? Or what did you hear about them?
I heard about them, but I never knew about them except one time. Actually, in the 1980s, I saw the KKK collecting money in the middle of the Taft Highway, where the W Highway joins the Taft Highway on Signal Mountain, and they were standing in the middle of the road on the center line trying to solicit money.
Wow. Number 7. Knowing that you came from a fairly privileged family, did your parents, were your parents strict about you being around African American families or were there African American families where you grew up?
I wasn't around any, and I didn't grow up around any because we lived 3 miles from the nearest neighbor besides family members.
Yes, that makes sense. Number 8. When you went to McCauley School, did you have any African American kids in the school?
No.
All right. Number 9. When you started selling life insurance, were there many African Americans contenders having a problem getting it, or have there been any, or how have laws protecting them evolved over time?
Say the sentence again.
Here,
The question again.
The first part is, when you started selling life insurance, did you have many African American people trying to join into your business or trying to get your work?
Go away, reader. Honey, this is an interview. At the time, there was no competition from African Americans in my business. If that's
And so did you have many African Americans trying to help get by life insurance?
To buy life insurance? Well, there were companies that almost exclusively sold to black people that collected the premiums by the week. And for a year, I worked for one of those companies when I was 21 years old.
Really?
Yeah,
That's
and
cool. That's
and
actually
you
really
know,
interesting.
most of those companies operated in the heart of Chattanooga,
Mm-hmm.
Metropolitan, Unity Life, and
Yeah,
two or three others.
that's cool.
You collect $1 a week from a family.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Number 11. When you started playing sports like polo and cross country, were there any black competitors?
None.
None. Number 12. At the time, was your family politically informed? Like, did they care a lot about politics and what was occurring?
They were very politically informed. They were strong Republicans.
Yes. Number 13. What was, knowing that your opinions may be changed nowadays, but when you were growing up with your family, what was your view on blacks voting?
We weren't prejudiced about that.
Okay. Number 14. What kind of jobs did you see the black people getting from 1950s to the late 60s?
Mostly low-level jobs.
Mm-hmm. Do you believe today that there is still too much discrimination in black people getting jobs or in everyday life?
No, I don't.
When you were enlisted in the Army, did you serve alongside any African Americans? If so, did they get treated the same as you?
I did serve alongside a lot of black Americans, and they were friends, and they were treated the same as we were. There wasn't any discrimination in the Army when I served,
All right. So we've kind
to
of...
my knowledge.
Yes.
I did not encounter it.
Yeah. So we basically covered this. Number 17 was, as you grew up, you worked and were involved around the horse world, which is basically just like a lot of like farms, watching polo races where there's just a lot of horses and a lot of people working the farms. But since we covered this, there was not many African American farm hands or polo players.
There were no African American polo players, and but there were quite a few African American farmhands.
Yeah, yeah. 18. Growing up in the South, did you see any riots or signs set up anywhere? We've already covered that, so I can edit that in the next one. 19. Were the black areas of Chattanooga today the same areas as they were when you were growing up? Like, were they in the same places?
Generally speaking, yes, but you've had gentrification off of Main Street, for example, and then the blacks have moved out around in the area around Shepherd Hills, which they were not. They were not black areas way back then.
Mm-hmm. All right.
They're now high. The area out there around Shepherd Hills is now a very high crime area,
Mm-hmm.
along with East Chattanooga.
Yeah. And number 20. Today, what is your view on African American opportunities compared to yourself? And what do you think the political world could do differently in addressing this issue?
I think black opportunities are excellent overall.
So, do you think that the political world is addressing this issue appropriately?
I do.
All right. Knowing that you're a very conservative, politically informed person, how do you feel about all the constant protesting about Black Lives Matter? Do you feel that it is needed? So what I'm asking is, do you